All right, baseball fans, welcome back to another elimination video. This time we're eliminating the Texas Rangers. They had a great year. They really did. They weren't expected to compete. They were aided by a peculiar state of affairs in their division. Yeah, Oakland was in their division, and Oakland would beat them down several times. But they were also in the division with the Angels and the Mariners. They had a fourth place schedule. So they had a winning record, got in as a wild card, beat Boston in the playoffs, which is wasn't American League East, Red Sox. And they went up against Oakland, blew an 0-2 lead, and that's the rest of the story. You look at the net runs. They scored 238, give up 209. So they had some nice pieces here in Texas. Last year they were 7 under 500 in last place. So it was a 10-game turnaround. They lowered their team ERA from 4.75 to 3.68. Hit 270 something both years. This team, Mike Hargrove 317 right on target there. Dave Nelson 17 stolen bases on a 285 average. Mike Epstein, every year with his card he produces 273, 349 on base, great slugging. Burrows got the MVP. It's funny, they had 3 All-Stars. Burrows, Len Randall, Toby Harrah. They all slumped post-All-Star break. Their numbers prior were better. Burrows got the MVP, but he only finished with 13 homers and 39 RBIs, trailing at least Willie Horton, beyond probably some other guys. Randall, 269. Toby Harrah had a disaster defensively. And offensively, his average dipped all the way to 235. It's just staggering. He was hitting 300 at the All-Star break. Frank Howard is finally... The ship has sailed for Frank out of Texas. Not very good. Pitching, it starts at the end. They have Steve Foucault and Paul Lindblad to close out games. Now they just need 6 other guys. No, actually, the starting pitchers have high earned run averages, but they actually performed admirably because they don't have much defense behind them. Jim Bibby has the 4-4 template, as does Mike Paul, as does Steve Perzanowski, often as extra players with the lowest ERA in that particular year's card set. Combined, it makes it seem like you got 3 aces out there, when in actuality it's just 3 extra players. Nobody pitched lower than Mike Paul's 387. There aren't any good whips here outside of Foucault and Lindblad. It's what you would expect from a team that generally shouldn't even be competing. But these Rangers are, folks. They are, and let's take a look now at the Texas Rangers card set to see the 12 players they'll start out next year with. And they're going to start with a great infield. Mike Hargrove. Excellent 74 card of 323. First base. Then you got Dave Nelson. Arguably the best year of his career at second base. Double-A stealer. Then you got Len Randall. A switch-hitting third baseman. Also could be a utility player. Don't need him to. He's the anchor at third until Buddy Bell arrives or you feel like moving Toby Harrah to third and finding a new shortstop. Which leads us to the curious case of Toby Harrah. Great card for him. 20 home runs, 293 average for Toby. The defense is completely reasonable, but it just played terribly this year. We'll put a video together of all his errors. Consider it like a bloopers. The Toby Harrah blooper clip, we'll call it. Outfield, you got Tom Grieve over on the left side. Could start over here. Bootstake can start in center field or platoon with Grieve, if you wish. And then there's Burrows out in right field. Plenty of offense to go around for Texas. Now the pitching. There are some nice arms here that need some help. Help wanted in Texas. Jim Bibby is a nice card. Puts a little bit too many lefties on base for my taste, but he's a starter 8, and he gets righties out. That's a nice card. Can't pitch on 3 days rest. 180 innings is going to top out there. Steve Perzanowski, Very similar to Bibby. Starter 7 and 75. And then a young David Clyde. He's just a starter 5. This is the famous card where he was promoted to the Rangers just after graduating high school. And he was out of the game in a few years, unfortunately for David. But he's got the back end of the bullpen coming back. Paul Lindblad, 74. 2 more years out of this card. Don't trade him to Oakland. Hold on to him. You see that, Oakland? You don't want that. That's your only chance to get some level of revenge on the Oakland A's team that just ripped off 4 straight wins against you to end your season. And Steve Foulcott. Now, this is his best card. I think he's got a nice card for the Detroit Tigers as well. But, yeah, that's a nice card to back up, folks. You got a relief 3 and a relief 4, lefty-righty. So you see, you can close out games. You got plenty of offense to get you a lead. You just need some defense and some more pitching. More pitching, more pitching. So let's take a look at the 8 Texas Rangers who, with their 72 cards, move on. And now we got to figure out who they want to keep from those 8 players, who they want to put on waivers, and who they want to retire. All right, let's take a look at the 8 Rangers, beginning with Dick Billings, 1972. He hit 254. Mostly the platoon versus lefties. 73, he'll have a card, 305 plate appearances, then he tails off after that. Let's just confirm he's got a 73 card by looking at the roster sheet for the Rangers in 73, and there he is, him and Ken Suarez. Now, do you want to keep him? Well, let's be optimistic and say, yeah, you do. So it's good to have keepers. If you find better players than him, then he moves on to waivers. Beginning with Mike Epstein. Oh boy, is this it, folks? We finally saying goodbye to this great Epstein card. Man, what a fun dude this guy's been. Epstein from the 69 Senators. Yeah, the 69 card, the 70 card to a degree, and then the 72 card were all outstanding. Then I guess he starts to turn into a pumpkin. You know, 73, 74 card, yuck. 73, you can get waivers for him. He's a Ranger and an Angel. Now, the thing is, if he's got an intriguing split, it'd be worth possibly keeping him as a one-way player. But again, it's a 619 OPS, which is 250 points below where he was a year, so that's, yeah. Texas or California, do you have waivers on this guy? Epstein. We'll look here for Texas and California. Yeah, he's considered an infielder for the Angels. I'm going to put him on waivers because I just feel more optimistic than that. And we need guys on the waiver wire anyway. Next up, Frank Howard. He actually will have at least one playable year left in 73, and it's with the Tigers. And Frank Howard, long career from 58 to 73. I don't think he ever played for the Texas Rangers. No, he went from the Senators straight. No, he did. He had a season split between Texas and Detroit. And then 73 with Detroit. This is still a playable card at 789 OPS against lefties. So again, same as the previous guys. You can be optimistic and make them keepers or waivers. For now, I got to consider, do I need a lefty DH? How much do I need a lefty DH? Let's just put them on waivers now. And frankly, I think the waiver pool with Epstein and Howard on it would be intriguing to see what teams want to go after those guys. Next guy is Joe LaHood, and he'll get better, folks. LaHood will have a nice card coming up. So that's good news. 68 to 78. Was with Boston. He's got this card here in 74 coming up. An 825 OPS, full-time player card, I believe. Boom. So that's a keeper. We want that card in Texas for Joe LaHood. Sometimes you got to steal from your opponents, and that's what they would do. They'd hold on to a card too long, depriving him from going to the team he actually put up those stats for. And the fifth player, another non-Ranger, but a really nice, talented left-handed hitting catcher, Dave Rader. Boy, he's going to have a nice little career coming up here. Had this knack with the Giants of hitting left-handed pitching very well, too, along with right-handed pitching. And these numbers, 73 not so much, but 74, 75, you know, all these numbers, and the big year 1980 hitting 328. That's in Fenway Park. But he bounced all around. Again, he has no association with the Rangers. They're going to play the, hey, we're the Rangers. They're going to play the, we're poor, you know, we're welfare. We need to keep our guys. And even if they're your guys, we're going to keep them anyway. And look, the Rangers are that close to being an expansion team, folks. So they could use a quality Dave Rader and a quality Joe LaHood when they don't necessarily have the dudes in the minor leagues. Remember, they already brought them all up. The guys in the minor leagues are Mike Hargrove, Toby Harrod, Len Randall. They're already here. And the rest of it's kind of dry down there. Now the pitching. Oh boy, it's going to get kind of, oh yeah. Mike Paul, another sort of a one-hit wonder, or two-hit wonder. I think he had 2 nice years. Mike Paul from 68 to 74. I think he's got 2 cards here. One with Cleveland, one with Texas. Had a 69 card that was pretty good. And then 68 and 69 cards. Then he puts up this heck of a year in 72. 217 ERA, 124 whip. Great card. Look at that. Leads the league in highlighted homers per 9 innings. Just 4 home runs. Think about this. I know it's 72 is kind of a dead ball year, but 4 home runs in 161 innings. That's special, folks. That's excellent. 73, he's back to a 157 whip. And 74, he's done. So this is a total waiver guy. He needs to have a card for the Rangers or Cubs. Texas, oh boy. This is going to be disappointing if they don't make a Mike Paul card. Oh boy, I don't think they make a Mike Paul card. Let's look at Texas. Let's look at the Cubs. Not there. How about their extra players? Oh boy, they don't make a 73 Mike Paul. Boy, we need guys. You can't be, yeah. So Strat-O-Matic did not print in this first edition set this card of 73. 105 innings with a 157 whip. Pretty ordinary, or below ordinary for a right-handed reliever anyway, but it would have been nice to have the card as a Ranger or Cub. We don't have it, which means we have seen the career of Mike Paul. He goes into retirement. Thanks, Mike. It was fun having you. Next up, Bill Hands. And this guy has to be a keeper. They need bodies in Texas, folks. Bill Hands wins 20 games for the Cubs. I believe in 69. There it is. And he's pitching on 3 days for us next few years. Not anymore, but he's still pretty effective as a Twin and then eventually a Ranger. 73 season, that card exists, possibly the 74 as well. We're going to keep him. Yeah, I know, again, he's the Twins' property. But they're going to keep him. I just don't think, let's consider each of these options. I just don't think the California Angels are going to cry that they don't get to have Joe LaHood. Or the Giants are going to whine that they don't have Dave Rader. You know what I mean? Look, they're free agents. They have a cup of coffee all around baseball. They have a suitcase, they travel, and the Rangers, they say, hey, we need you. We need you here, out here in the deep in the heart of Texas, as you like to say. So yeah, Bill Hands will be a keeper, which leads us to the last guy, Wayne Granger, former Red, former Twin, I believe, and maybe a former carry-on league player, because no, he still goes. Wayne Granger, 72, was a Twin. Was on a World Series team in 70 with Cincinnati. 72 with the Twins, and then the Cardinals, Yankees, White Sox, Astros, Expos. Whew, that's a lot of suitcases, folks. So, has to have, if you want to waive the guy, he has to have a card in 73 for the Cardinals or Yankees, or you keep him with a 75 or 76 card if those cards are made. Now, of these, 75 with Houston is a 133 whip. But again, I need guys on my waiver wire. So let's look at the possibility of 73 waivers for the Cardinals or Yankees in 62 total innings. Strat-O-Matic, I'm asking you, Strat, did you print his card for the St. Louis or the Yankees in 73? St. Louis Cardinals. No Granger there. Oh, it's there, right there. Additional player down there. Perfect. So we can get some waivers on our Wayne Granger. Let's take waivers there. That's 3 guys on the waiver list. We need guys there. Perfect. Yeah, this all makes sense. So I believe that, maybe not Dick Bell. Well, they don't have any catchers. They'd be bringing back the same pair of catchers. Of course, they have Jim Sundberg in their system. They might just want to add Jim Sundberg and then the lefty Raider and say goodbye to Billings. But again, you could. I'm going to put potentially keep him and potentially keep him. You know, I mean, they could send this guy over here and this guy could go over there. So it's very versatile. You know. That's what you want. You want options for this stuff. Presently, though, they're keeping 4, waiving 3, and retiring 1. This is easy math to do. All you got to do is trade one of your waiver guys to a team who has an extra retired guy, and you will reconcile. So this is what Texas is doing presently. A lot can happen, of course, before the draft. We've now eliminated 27 teams. And there we go. We have the proper number of retirees suddenly. Because Texas only retired 1 guy, we finally got down to 54. And the max we want is 64. So with the 5 teams that remain, which are the White Sox, the Braves, the A's, the Cubs, and the Reds, we only want 10 guys to retire. And that means we'll have the right number of keepers and waivers. Because you could just slide the remaining keepers right onto waivers. And an extra keeper is basically a guy you want to trade, and everybody's like, I ain't trading for that guy. Why should I trade for this player when I can have him for free? I'll just wait till he's on the waiver list. I'm not going to give you an asset when you have no room for him. So that's it tonight for eliminating the Texas Rangers. I hope you like the analysis. We'll see you next time.